Okie dokie. Let me know if you're there. Where's my pen? Hi, Annie. Can you hear me okay? Hi, Diane. Can you hear me? Hi, Kim. Can you hear me? Perfect. As you pop on, if you can let me know if you are sewing with me. I know Diane finished hers already. Way to go. Perfect. Oh. Again, thanks for understanding about last Tuesday. I think those extra 2 days really helped me. Loud and clear? Perfect. Diane, watch for my mistakes for me. You've saved me a few times. Kim is sewing? Okay, cool. Just hanging out? Okay, that's fine. That's allowed. I think Dawn is sewing with us, but I'm not sure. Yeah. I honestly think we will probably be finished the itty bitty this week, which means next week, if we need it, we will do a double Wayfarer class. Or if we don't get done the itty bitty, then we will do it Monday or Wednesday or something like that. The makeup class. Oh. Probably going to hear some street noise. I do have my window open a little bit because I'm just sweltering hot. Holy moly. Hi, Susan. Okay, you're watching. That's fine. Because you finished yours too, right? Now, did you guys birth it or did you bind it? I'm curious. Now, we do have a new member. If she pops on, Barbara. Let's see if she comes on or not. You bound it? Was it easy to do? I haven't done it yet. This week I am doing the tutorial for the Wayfarer 2, the backpack size with binding. It's slightly different than this one. The style number 1, which I'm making for my brother. So I'm going to do a tutorial for that one. Did it with binding. Oh, I said the turning of this is what killed me and broke me for last week. So Diane, you did the 2-pocket one, right? Did you bind both pockets or did you birth the first pocket and then bind the last part? Because I think that's the way I would do it if I did the 2. The first one wasn't too bad. Hey Frankie, how are you? How's your wrist? And are you sewing with us today? Nice to see you, Frankie. Did you find, I'm asking lots of questions, Diane, just because I haven't done it yet. Did you find the binding got in the way of the zipper tape at all on that first pocket? Picking your brain because I'm doing something similar with the tutorial that I'm starting tomorrow. So. Yay, Frankie's sewing with us. It didn't. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So we will give it a few more minutes to get a few more in there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us so far that I can see. If you're hanging out there and you haven't said hi, say hi so I know you're there. So far I have myself, Annie, ooh, I got stuff in my hair. Annie, Diane, Frankie, Kim, and Susan. And I have Frankie and Kim sewing with me today. So do you have your cast off your wrist now, Frankie? Oh, nice. Good idea, Diane. Hey, Dawn. Dawn, are you sewing with us today? Here's my... I'm sitting in my down low chair. I feel so short right now. Cast is off. Awesome. And what about you, Susan? Did you just bind the back panel or did you bind 2 panels? And Frankie, are you doing the 1 zipper pocket or the 2? I'm doing 1 zipper pocket for the class, but we have the tutorial with the 2, but the tutorial is done birthed and it hurts. You won't want to do it with your wrist. You will want to do it bound, probably. Yeah, I have you here as doing, never mind, I wrote it down. You're doing style 1 bound. I took notes. I'm proud of me. Oh, I hear Brady. Hi, Brady.
Hi.
What do you need?
I'm just grabbing snacks.
Okay, did you feed the dogs, please?
Okay.
Thank you. 1 zipper with binding. Okay. Just the back, the front was easy to turn for style 1. And that is what I'm going for this one. So it should go pretty fast. So we're going to pretty much follow along the pattern step for step, just because I can't really go rogue with this pattern and go like I usually do, or I don't even look at the pattern and go, because I am new to the style of bag myself. I've only made the 1. So we will be pretty much starting from step 1 and working all the way through until we get to the binding, and then we go rogue. So again, I have never bound this bag before, so when we get to that part, I may pick Susan and Diane's brains if my way of thinking away from the binding. So Susan is done. Annie, you weren't sewing with us, right? You were going to, I can't remember. I know you cut with us, so. My brain doesn't retain information these days. Not sewing, just hanging out. Okay. Got it. We'll just wait a few minutes to see if Cynthia and Rhonda join us, because they were with us last class. So we'll give it till about 10 after, and then we will get started. Yeah, the front was easy to turn. I just got to text somebody here that was trying to phone me through Messenger. Let me just turn her off, and I'm going to go to Do Not Disturb, because that will take care of that. There we go. Yeah, the front will be easy to turn, I'm sure. Am I lagging a little bit there? I look like I'm lagging. Let's let it catch up for a moment. There we go. Oh my goodness, and now she's sending me. I have a client picking up some bags, so.
Hi Brandy, I just wanted to let you know it's Sue, Jesse's mom. I'm going to wash Jesse's hair and have dinner with him. It's so beautiful. I don't want to get him outside for a walk. And then I will come by. So probably not until about 8 or 9 if that's okay. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, there we go.
Thank you, Brandy.
There's a young man here who got beaten pretty badly a few years ago. His name is Jesse Simpson, and he is severely handicapped now. And that was his mom, and she's having an auction for some of his care and all that. So I've donated 2 of my bags for that. So that was just her saying that she will pick it up. So we'll give it a minute to stop freezing. I think it's when she was phoning me, it was causing it to freeze. Good idea, Susan. Yeah, start where it's hidden. Nobody knows if it's messy, right? Okay. Tell me if I am smooth now. Don't know what's been going on with YouTube. YouTube Studio was down all evening yesterday, so I think YouTube is having problems, but I think the freezing has stopped. You guys let me know if it's running smooth now. So far, so good? Well, yeah, Jesse was a year in between my boys, and yeah, he stepped on a... If you guys look up Jesse Simpson Kamloops, you'll read the story. It's a very, very sad story that happened 7 years ago. So just trying to do my part in the community and help out. Better? Okay. Alrighty. Well, I don't think anybody else is popping in. If they do, we will mark them down. So let me just change the screen. Split table. I hope this view is okay. This view okay? I messed it all up during the live today, so I want to make sure everything looks good. Whew, my gosh. I don't know if it's just me that's warm or what, but I am having huge hot flashes today. Need a fan. I turned the air conditioner on and froze everybody up, so I don't want to do that again. I am running about a minute behind everybody, so. Yeah, I'm a minute ahead of all of you. Okay, so what we are going to do first is we have our 2 D-rings. Strapping in this is super easy. We are going to cut 2 3-inch pieces of webbing. 1, 2, oopsies. Put that back over there. I am going to use some double-sided tape. You can always stitch this if you prefer, but the least amount of time I have to do wasting thread, I am a happy girl. So I'm going to take some tape, just little pieces, and put it at one end of each of those. And then I'm going to take my D-rings, and we're going to put them, excuse me, through and bring it wrong sides together, and that is making a connector. Do the same with the other one. just like that. Give you guys a couple of minutes to get there, and I am going to grab my other pieces here. Where are you? Now, is anybody doing their strap connectors two colors like I did, or is everybody going a solid color? Because I'll try to explain the differences if you do them both. In the tutorial, I do explain it, but I think everybody's doing one color, but let me know if you're doing two for the connectors. Solid? Good. It'll make it easier. Solid? Perfect. Perfect. Easy peasy then. If anybody's watching this later and you're doing this part with two different colors, make sure you watch the tutorial because I do explain thoroughly what you need to do for this. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to take two of these connectors, or yeah, make sure you have the longest side down on the bottom here. And we are going to measure up 1 inch from there. Actually, first, from the raw ends of our connectors, draw a 1/2 inch line. That's going to help us more. And then from one corner, measure up 1 inch. This is 3 inches this way. So this is how I know it's going to be nice and centered. You're going to take your connector and your line that you just drew, you're going to line up with that raw edge and clip that in place. Same with the other one. Doesn't matter if they're, if you're doing two colors, you're going to want to make this on the opposite side, but for one color, it doesn't matter. So we're going to do the same with this one. And I'm not going to switch the camera over because we're just going to quickly go and baste this in place. So once you have those situated, go ahead and just baste those in place with 1/8 of an inch seam allowance. All right, and let me know when you are all done that. You lost me for a minute? On the right side. So what I said, Kim, was you have your connector pieces. You're going to take two of them. Make sure that the long side is this way. So these sides should measure 3 inches. On the connectors from the raw edge, you're going to measure up 1/2 inch and draw a line. And then you're going to put them 1 inch up from one of the corners, match up that line you just drew with the raw edge, and then baste those in place. Dawn's done. So it's all on the right side. There's the wrong side there, there's the right side. The connector, it won't matter if it's wrong or right side because both sides look exactly the same. My gosh, I should be drinking my bottle of water I have here and not my aspartame drink, that's for sure. Just give everybody a couple minutes to get there. This is what we have so far. This is what it looks like. No problem. That's what I'm here for. I tell ya, I sure wanted to cut into that vinyl that I opened on the live today. But I gotta do I gotta finish my to-do list first before I can play. Another minute or so. Frankie's done. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the ones that we haven't done anything with, we're going to put them right sides together, and we're going to clip these two sides, not that long bottom open side. We're going to leave that open, and you're going to see the hardware is going to kind of hang out. That's okay. That is our turning hole for this. So go ahead and clip this in place. Same with the other one. Right sides together. You'll catch up? Okay, Kim. And then we're going to go and we're going to sew up these two sides with 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now I'm switching over. I have my over-the-shoulder camera on a different stand, so I'm using you guys as guinea pigs to tell me if it's good or bad or too wobbly or whatever. It'll be what it is for today, but yeah, I need your opinion. So I don't keep running their sewing machine, but I think it's less wobbly, so you'll have to let me know what you think. Okay, no, Coco says hi. Okay, so again, we're going to go up those two sides we just clipped with 1/4 inch seam allowance. A little bit further. And I'm just going to peek under because I am using a pearl vinyl. I'm going to make sure my threads aren't stressed out. They are a little bit, so I'm actually going to go in with this second line of stitching just because of the vinyl I'm using. Right next to that in the seam allowance, just so my threads don't poke through. So you can decide if you want to do that yourself. And in this one, I'm just going to do a little back stitch at the start and the stop of that connector just to give it a little extra security. So it looks like that. I'm going to do the same with the other one. Oh, I lost my bowl. I'll have to grab it later. So how is this camera? Is it less shaky or is it more shaky? This one here, the one that's looking over this way at the machine. second line of stitching. And you don't have to do the second line of stitching, just double check. I'm using a thick vinyl, that's why I'm doing it. I didn't have to when I used the Luxxe, it was thin enough. All right. This is what we got. Everybody still there? The chat went silent, so I'm always scared that I've lost you. So let me know when you're there and we will move on. Dawn is done. I'm surprised I didn't put rivets in there. Oh. Dawn, which kind of vinyl are you using? Okay, and Frankie's done. Kim, just let me know if you need me to stop, okay? Okay, so now what we're going to do is on this corner here where the stitching is, you're going to just cut as close as you can to the stitching without cutting it. Mine may not go as crisp because I have done the 2 lines of stitching, but we'll find out. And then you're going to turn these right side out through that bottom. Give it a little pull. And then poke out those corners. I may regret using pearl vinyls. We will find out. Luxxe, you'll have no problems with it. I definitely wouldn't be doing the birthing method, there's Coco, if I had been using the pearl vinyls in the first bag. I would have not made it. Come on. Poke out nice and sharp. Oh, there I am, another warm flash. My goodness. Okay. My corner doesn't want to poke out nice and crisp because I did those 2 things. So it's going to be slightly rounded, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. Okay, and then I'm actually just going to kind of finger roll those seams. Press them out nicely because we are going to top stitch this next. I am also going to, did I have to trim it? No, we're okay. Just making sure, trim corner seams, turn strap right side out. We're good. I'm also going to baste this bottom close, so I'm going to top stitch along these 2 edges and baste that bottom close on both. Now this is where you're going to want to decide which one is your right side because you want them to be facing opposite. And you want them to kind of be facing up. Unless your stitching is good on both sides. Does that make sense? Makes sense in my head. So hopefully it makes sense in yours too. So the way to think, these are going to be sticking out of the bag like so. So they're going to go in like this because they will be facing in. So this is going to be my right sides of each. So these are facing each other and kind of angling up. So now we're going to go ahead, top stitch here and baste that bottom shut. Come on, why didn't you click on? Tommy isn't wanting to behave. Did I unplug him by accident? Where did he go? There he is. Okay. Oops. Let's give him a little shake. Make him nice and still. I've got it wobbling now. It'll stop shaking in a moment. Okay, let's do this. I'm starting with the bottom and just basting that about halfway through so I can do my back stitch there, and then basting up the two finished edges. Make sure the stitching looks good on both sides because it will be visible on both sides. You can actually tighten it up a little bit. There we go. Perfect. That's one. Make sure I get the right one going. Yep. There we go. Okay. How is that camera? As long as I don't accidentally bump it, I think it's good. I think it's not too shaky. There we go. So let me know when you're all done that. And one more thing you can do is you can trim off these little dog's ears on the bottoms too. Oopsies. Frankie's done. Those you can put away. Next we're going to be working on our strap. think Don's done. Dave is messaging me. Let me just see what he wants. Oh, he's packing up. Okay. So I unfortunately don't have a rainbow little slider like this, so I'm going to use matte black, which will be fine. And how big a piece do I cut here? Please hold. I don't remember off the top of my head. That's for the zipper. Where is it in here? Three-inch D-ring. Where's my cut list? It doesn't tell me. Insert the webbing tri-glide. No, I need to know how big to cut my webbing. Cut list will help. 45 inches, is that what it is? Thank you. For style 1. Oh, wait, no, I have cut 25 inches for, or longer for adjustable strap. Where are you seeing the 45, Dawn? So I only did 25 inches on that one, and it was fine, I think. The 25 inches is fine. Did you mean 25, Dawn? Or am I reading in the wrong place? I think it says cut 25-inch or longer for adjustable strap. So I'm going to cut mine to 25 inches. If you want it a little bit longer, you can go a few inches longer. Everybody with me? Okay, I do go a little bit rogue at this point. So you got your 25 inches here. Now the side that we're going to be putting the tri-glide on, I'm going to put a little bit of double-sided tape because we want to enclose that raw edge. So I'm going to measure in, so I can actually cut mine to 26 inches because I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to measure in 3/8 of an inch from one end. Put a little bit of double-sided tape to hold it in place. "25 inches or longer. It's for this strap right here that we're doing. So it doesn't have to be super long. It's just enough to make it a little bit adjustable. See? Oh, that's okay. I actually almost did the same thing, Dawn. Okay, everybody let me know when you have it there. I know sliders can get confusing, so and I do it slightly different than how she does it there because her way confused me a lot. We're going to do it my way. it always takes a little bit to get used to designers, how they write things and where they place things in a pattern. For patterns like Bagstock or Sew Yours or Lavender and Twine, I can just kind of go with it because I think the same way those patterns do, so it works really well for me. This one makes me think a little more because it's written a little bit differently than I'm used to. Okay, so what we're going to do is fold that one end in 1/2 inch-ish, doesn't have to be exact, like so. And that tape is just going to hold that raw edge in place, and we will be stitching that down momentarily, but we do want to have that raw edge brought into the wrong side. Now we're going to flip this over so it's the right side up of our strap. Here's that folded inside on the left hand side. You're going to take your slider, which is also right side up, and you're going to put it up through the bottom, over the middle, like so, and then bring it wrong sides together, and you want to have 1.5 inches or so overhang. And then I'm just going to hold that in place with a couple clips. And so you can see that where we stuck that underside, the raw edge under, it is now kind of sandwiched in between these two. And then when we go to stitch our box, it'll be golden. Okay, so let me know when you get there. Diane and Susan, did either of you, when you finish yours, make the mistake of you had the strap on upside down? Or going the wrong way, like I did? That I fixed in the tutorial? You're done, Frankie? Awesome. How about you, Dawn? Kim, whereabouts are you? Okay, so on the wrong side, away from the hardware, I am going to just kind of draw out. If you're good at doing a box with an X in it, you can just freestyle it. I'm not good at these, so I'm going to draw my box in that's approximately 1 inch. Of course, we will go up and down each side by 1/2 inch and then do our X in the middle, from corner to corner. To anchor that in place, and then it will also conceal that raw edge. So this is what we're working towards, like this. See on this one? Just like this one. Okay. So we'll take that to the machine and do, oh no, you're fighting tension. Ah, the darn tension. I hate it when that happens. All right. Here we go. And I don't know the easiest way of doing this. Again, I don't do box stitches like this very often. But it's okay because it won't really be seen. If anybody can teach me a better way of doing this, I'd be happy. Usually I just go around the box first and then I go back in and do the X in the middle. Oh, it was sharp under there. Which means I end up going multiple over some of the edges, but that's okay. If you don't want this to be seen, definitely use a matching thread to your webbing. I'm too lazy to change mine out. Too much work. Make sure you protect your hardware when you do this turn. Okay, so I'm at this corner. So I'm going to go up. Cross that top again to get to the other side. And then diagonal down again. And then I'm going to go across that other straight bottom part just to keep it consistent with the top part and back stitch. I did not too badly there. I'm happy with that. Susan says she paid careful attention since I had the benefit of your video. I actually went rogue and did not use the padded strap, just a 1-inch webbing. I had matched 1-inch webbing for all of the connectors. Oh, awesome. See, that's the really nice thing about bag making is you can definitely go rogue and make it your own, right? How's that tension doing, Kim? Okay. I don't believe it's already 4:45. My gosh, the time goes fast when we're in class. Oh no, Kim. What's going on? Is it your bobbin or is it your actual machine? Stitch is fine on scrap. Did you try a new bobbin? Did you try rethreading a new needle maybe? Bizarre. Dawn is done. Just rethreaded. Another minute or so. Probably bobbin. Yeah, try bobbin. Redo a new one. That darn bobbin. I swear, I got fluff in my hair. Another minute or so. I'm gonna grab my other pieces here. While I wait. Where are you? Got it? Nope. So many pieces. There it is. Okay, done. Okay, so now you have this wrong side up and your slider is up, hanging out up here. you're going to take your swivel clasp and you're going to put it up like this so the claw is pointing up. No, sorry. The claw is pointing down. Okay? And then you're going to slide it onto one end. So the wrong side is up, see? Like that. The wrong side of the swivel clasp is up. You're going to bring it through, bring the strap wrong sides together. You're going to feed it up through one side and down through the other side. And if we've done it right, this is what it should look like. Any issues? So I think that's much easier than how it's done in the pattern. This is how I do all my like crossbodies and all of my straps. So once you successfully have that threaded, let me know. Donna's done. I'm going to quickly just kind of press the other side just to take out some of these creases. It's going to bug me. Hopefully I can get enough steam here. Just give me about 30 seconds for it to heat up. This iron heats up pretty fast. Come on, need some steam. It's yelling at me a little bit. I'll use the other one because it's not wrinkly. Okay, Frankie's done. So it's not as wrinkly. Okay, so what we want to do on one of the short ends of our strap, so just one piece of it, we want to find the top center. Just do a little snip. Okay. Now this was one you would have to think about if you were doing double colored, but because we're not, it's not too bad. And then on the webbing that has the, I'm just going to melt away some of these ends here. Ooh, that catches fire fast. That has the raw edge. We're going to draw up, what was it, a half inch? Half inch or so with some chalk. And then we are going to line up. I'm confusing myself, one sec. Line up. Always sticking out by, okay, yes. So that half inch mark, we want it to be as centered as it can. So kind of eyeball it and at that line, have it sticking up and over. Clip that in place. And then go ahead and baste that in place. So at this point, it doesn't really matter if it's our strap is right side up or right side down. You would have to start thinking if you're doing a double colored strap. So go ahead and baste that in place. I'm not going to bring you guys over to the camera. I'm just going to go ahead and baste it because that's pretty easy to do. Oopsies. Just like that. I'm going to go iron my other piece. Let me know when you're done. There's my steam. Love this new iron so very much. Heats up so fast. Whew, warm. Donna's done. I learned a lot making the straps this way too. I've never done straps like this before. And I've only done padded straps once ever. Another minute or so. It's nice to have you sewing with us again, Frankie. Your wrist healed up really fast. That's good. And my elbow's not hurting me at all. I don't think I should be in sewing jail still. I'm ready to be back to regular duties. Okay, so I have them laid out like so. I'm going to take this other strap piece and I'm just going to flip it over. And in the video, I did it centered. I'm not going to this time. I'm going to put it up about 2 inches from one end. And that's where we're going to do our 6-inch opening for turning. And that'll just make it a lot easier for turning through. Okay. And then we're going to put this. Haha, Don. I know you'll keep me in line. Then we're going to put this over top, right sides together. Match up all of those edges and clip them in place. Except for this side where that's opposite from our webbing here. So that's going to be our turning hole. Now when we go to sew this together, you just have to make sure you are not running over that webbing by accident, because it's kind of hanging out freestyle in there. Was it really 6 weeks? It seems a lot shorter than that. Time just seems to be flying by. Holy. So again, we're leaving that 6-inch mark open. I'm just going to write open so I don't forget. Kind of tuck this back inside. It's funny, the first time I did this, I found that the strap was the thing that took the longest to do as well. I don't know if it's just because it's new to me or what. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way around, not this bottom part, but all the way around with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, leaving that 6-inch opening. So we're going to go here, back stitch, jump over, back stitch, all the way around. And I'm also going to go around with a 2nd row stitching just because of the vinyl that I'm using, and I don't want my thread to be stressed out with it. Okay, so oopsies, I might have did. Oh darn it, if I turn them off in the wrong order it gets mad at me. There we go. the side that has the opening first so I don't forget. Oh, I almost lost my thread. Come back. Stitch a couple times just so it's good. Break my thread and jump over. Again, make sure you do not run over the webbing inside. Make sure it's all tucked in. You would hate to break your needle on the swivel clasp there. Back stitch a few times just to make that opening secure. Okay. Oh, I think in the tutorial I said to put your zipper foot on here. Okay, I got through okay. Because we come so close to that hardware in there that it might be hard on a standard foot. But I got by it okay. My tension's kind of going all over the place too. That's better. You put the webbing on the wrong side? What do you mean, Frankie? Oh, did you put it on the wrong side instead of the right side? If you put it on the right side of one piece and you're doing one color, you should be okay. Again, this is where I'm going to wish I had my zipper foot because my hardware is like right there. It'll be fine. I could just barely get by it. Can be very aware, just kind of feeling in here to know where your webbing is so you're not running through it. Again, leaving the other bottom, the opposite bottom short edge open. And I'm just going to go around with the second row of stitching just because I am using thick vinyl, and you can decide if you want to do that or not. It's completely up to you. And jump over that opening. Oopsies. Change that too soon. Put this back on. Everything in the wrong order today. All right, so let me know when you're there. That is done. Give Frankie a couple minutes to fix hers up. 1/4 of an inch, Frankie. It's funny because I totally found this strap the trickiest part. So that's why we're taking so much time. Was it because it was the part that I struggled the most with making this? It didn't help that I did 2 colors. So getting them orientated the right way got confusing. Oh, sit down for a moment. How's your tension doing, Kim? Did you figure it out? How about Susan and Diane? Did you find... Oh, no, Susan didn't do the strap. Oh, Kim's almost caught up. Yay! Diane, did you find the strap a little tricky? Again, for me, it may just seem tricky because it's something new for me to learn. Good. Hi, Elba. Aw, you're working hard today, are you? You look like you're always having so much fun. Let's mark that Elba's here. Oh, you did your strap raw edges. Ooh, Diane, that would be easier. My opening is right here, 2 inches from one side, from the bottom of the open side. So I got this small bottom here, because trust me, we don't want to turn through there. And it's about 2 inches up, opposite where the strapping is. Okay, so now you can go ahead just on these corners, trim as close as you can. Again, because I did double stitches, I don't know how pointy I'm going to be able to get these. As close as you can to stitching. Do not trim this up. And from this side opening, pull your strap through it and just pull it and bring everything right side through. Now this is going to be a test for me because it's turning something and I'm going to feel it in my elbows. I know it. And of course I use vinyl. See how when you pull on this, it's pulling that through. So I was dreading this when I saw it was a tube. I'm like, oh, I hate pulling through tubes. But look how easy that comes through. Said it's going to look like I'm struggling a little bit because yes, this is hurting my elbow a little bit. But just keep going. Oh yeah, that shows my elbow's not better. And of course I'm using a sticky vinyl. So just work it through, pull it through, a little bit at a time. This side here, you can just kind of pop it around. That's why we did it closer to the end. Hi Barbara, welcome to the club. Make sure you take a look at some of the other classes and you'll kind of see how we do things. It's a lot of fun. We have a really, really good group here and we're so happy to have you. Now if somebody wants to come and turn this tube for me, I'd be very happy. If I can't get this through because of my tendonitis, we may have to leave this part for next class so I can get Dave to turn it through for me. But I'm going to try. You had no problems finding us, Barbara? That's good. Come on. So I can tell you right now, this was a lot easier with Luxxe and not the thick vinyl. Kind of stretch it out a little bit, massage it through. So this is where Diane was. Diane, did you edge paint your edges? I'd be very impressed if you did. With my Luxxe, it just pulled right through. With the pearl, oh, there it goes. Look, oh. I need an epidural, everybody. But look, there we go. Okay. Again, that looks harder than it was just because I have no strength in my left arm. If there was wine at the end of the turning, I would be there. Do you know what? There can be wine. That is all up to you. Okay, so then go ahead and you can poke those corners out best you can. You'll need a really long poker tool to get up there for where we put that turning hole. I got this really cheap one and it just doesn't, look at it, kind of all bends. I'm going to try to use this needle, the dull end, not the sharp end. Yes, Frankie is recovering from a broken wrist. I'm recovering from cubital tendon syndrome. I don't remember. It's like tendonitis, but it's your funny bone or funny bone nerve, the ulnar nerve. And I'm actually on a sewing time out. I'm only allowed to sew 4 hours a day right now, which is torture for me. So yeah, take your time, massage out all of those things. Did everybody get theirs turned through okay, or are you struggling with it? Dawn, yours probably went through super good because you used the Luxxe Vinyl, which went really smooth for me. But then again, I didn't have a sore elbow when I did it. Oh, there we go. Everybody's working hard turning it out. Used vinyl, so you got to make sure to do really good finger press. Done. Yep, Luxxe just turned through really nice, didn't it? The pearl was a little harder. I definitely wouldn't want to do it with glitter or super glossy vinyl, I don't think. How are you doing there with your wrist turning that through, Frankie? Probably the same as me. But you got to admit, that was a lot easier than most tubes, doing it that way, and being able to pull on that strap. See, last time I did it up higher, this opening, and this part came through a lot easier, but then I struggled with this bottom part, so I thought doing it lower would make it easier, but they're equally as hard. Okay, so next you're going to take your foam, and we are going to feed it up and into this tube through this opening. You're going to have to learn about vinyl, Barbara. What kind of machine do you have? So this takes a little bit of patience because we want to feed this foam all the way to the top and have it sit nice and flat. Underneath, see how we have the seam here? I liked to put it under one of the seams. So I have this sitting right side down right now, so the wrong side of my hardware is pointing up, and I'm kind of placing my foam underneath that seam there. That's where I've decided I want it. So the foam will be sitting against the right side. Bernine is 70, so you're on a domestic, that's okay. There's lots of domestic friendly foams, or vinyls. What I'm using right now can be, depending on the layers. Okay, so I have this upholstery needle, and I use the eye end to push my foam in. Look, watch how good it goes in. Like, seriously. So get something pointy. You can hold on, like kind of guide the foam and just push it up. Oops, I lost it. You kind of want to be on the top of the foam when you're pushing it up. I'm getting there. And a vintage workout horse. Those vintage machines are amazing. Okay. So you kind of play with it, get it nice and flat under that seam. We are going to be top stitching this in place, but like right now you can see how my foam kind of buckled up here, so I got to try to get that in nice and straight. So it's a lot of massaging, but trust me, it's definitely worth it. So this is, when I did the tutorial for this, this is what I found to be the most time consuming part. Knitting needle would work good, yep. Barbara, you'll learn that I've learned so much from all of the wonderful people in this class myself. Different things. Oh, look, I got my foam almost right to the top there. I'm proud of me. Yeah, we learn all sorts of stuff together. It's really, really fun group. Now for Tuesday classes next month, we're doing the Trailblazer. I'm not doing a new tutorial. I have 2 videos on the Trailblazer on my channel already. One is probably one of the very first videos I did, and it's 4 hours long. Oh my gosh. And it's more of a sew along. And then the one that I did a few months ago as well, which is my usual, what am I trying to say? My usual, oh my gosh, way I do my tutorials. Okay, so once you have that all tucked in there, this raw edge, now I want to tuck it under the same seam. You can kind of see where the raw edge is and where this seam goes. It's underneath that one seam that I want. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to wrap it around that foam by that 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. And I'm just going to eyeball it. You can use some double-sided tape here if you wanted to, if your machine isn't sensitive to it, but you want to fold in that raw edge like so, over top of that foam if you can, and clip it in place. And you want to make sure it's as straight as you can get it with the rest of this, because now we are going to top stitch this. And top stitching this is also going to close up this opening. So take your time here to make sure it looks really good. Have you made the Trailblazer before, Barbara? So Trailblazer is one of my very first makes. It's probably one of my top selling bags. For the class, I'm actually doing a client order, so it worked out good. So I could do 2 birds with 1 stone. You're working on yours now, Diane? Okay. So I'm just going to work at rolling my seam into place and clipping it all the way around. And you guys let me know when you're all done, and then we will move on. This part is finicky, but I mean, seriously, look how good it looks. And look how nice and squishy it looks. It looks really good. It's definitely worth the effort. Oh, you're going to have fun then, Barbara. The hardest part of the Trailblazer is the top zipper. But hopefully I'll be able to walk you through it okay. Top zippers are hard, I won't lie. But I do have some tricks. Make sure you have a zipper foot. Okay, and then once you have that opening kind of looking nice and even with everything else, I'm just going to go ahead, oopsies, roll that seam and clip where we're going to top stitch in place. Look how squishy. I love squishy. So Barbara, for the sew along, we do cutting and everything. First day we'll be cutting out all the pieces, so we will cut together. Interfacing is always homework because everybody uses different interfacings depending where they are. And it's really hard to film at the iron. So oh, if you have done the Duncan, Trailblazer's a breeze. Duncan was hard. You did the Duncan. I'm proud of you. That was a hard bag. The new bag of the month bag, right? Where are you about, Kim? Are you caught up right up with us now? After your machine fiasco? can also clip this bottom because we're going to seal that up as well. All right, so let me know when you're there, and then we will top stitch this baby. Oh my goodness, you didn't bind it. See, Barbara, I modified it and I asked Jenny if I could because I knew I wouldn't be able to birth it with my arm. Binding helped a lot. It was much easier to turn. Dawn's done. Any problems getting that foam up in there, Dawn? Not too bad? Okay, Kim, good. Kim, do you ever put a little bit of oil in your bobbin mechanism? Like when your bobbin is out, just putting like a little drop of oil in there and then spinning the hand wheel? I find that helps sometimes. Sometimes it just kind of gets caught up in there, or there can be a piece of fuzz and the oil will dislodge it. Diane says some of us are bad and go ahead. Yes, Diane and Susan, they finished their bags last week. Last week I took a sick day because doctor's orders I couldn't sew, and they finished their bags. So they're co-teaching. They're watching for me to make mistakes because trust me, I do. Diane has saved me a few times. When I'm going rogue and then she's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm like, yep, I would have regretted that. Give it another minute or so. And then for the rest of the class, I want to do the front zipper pocket, and then I'm going to leave the other zipper pockets, the other two zipper pockets for homework because they go together the same way. Hello, Miss Anna. How are you? Working hard today, lady? Barbara is our new member here. Barbara, Anna is Anna of Galaxy Customs. I don't know if you've ever tried her vinyl, but it's amazing. This is her vinyl. This is the beautiful pearls. I'm playing with the obsidian pearl, Anna. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to top stitch all the way around with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, and you can base this bottom. And then we're going to go around again an 1/8 of an inch away from that first line of top stitching, so 1/4 of an inch in. You want to keep it as straight as you possibly can and go all the way around. Show you on this bag. And it catches that foam in there and gives it this really, really awesome, squishy, not really quilted because it's big quilting, I guess, but it just is lovely. So go ahead and do that. Frank says, I'm not doing the, what's the G? Not doing the foam? Do you know what? The foam is optional. You don't have to put it in, Frankie. I guess I should have mentioned, if you had fusible fleece, you could have always fused it to one of the pieces first. But fleece doesn't give a lot of squish. So, yeah, I'd say either leave it out or not. So, okay, so let's go ahead. I'll switch cameras over, and we will go ahead and top stitch this. Come on, Tommy, click on Tommy camera. It is acting up today. Come on. That's because I didn't turn this. Give me a moment. Technical difficulties. We will find it. Nope, not that one. This one. There we go. Okay. Rhonda! Hi, Rhonda! You're having trouble turning it? Oh no. Pull on the strap. Kim, you'll get her. Okay, let's do this. So first I'm going to baste the bottom with 1/8 of an inch and then top stitch with the 1/8 of an inch. Make sure I have my right side up. I'm going to check my tension because I want it to look good on both sides. So all I do is I take something that's about the same thickness. If you're, as most people know, if you're on an industrial, I know my industrial, my tension changes with thicknesses. So I'm constantly have something of a similar material to make sure that my tension is pretty on both sides. And it is. I'm actually going to make sure I still have some bobbin thread. And I do. Okay. Because this is a big top stitch. I want to make sure I'm not going to run out. All right, here we go. Anna, we were talking about you in the live today. Were your ears ringing? Just gonna double check that I look good on both sides. Perfection. And this top stitch with those folded under edges at the trim hole. Uh-oh, I'm sewing my tape to my bag. Okay, there we go. It'll close up that hole nicely. You definitely want to make sure this looks nice because it is going to show, because this is going to be on the front of the person that is carrying it. There's Coco. She's been quiet up until now. She says hi. Make sure that end is staying tucked in and you're catching both of them where that opening is. So that opening is definitely closed. Okay, and then I'm just going to go across that open bottom again with 1/8 of an inch, and then I'm going to come up with that second row stitching 1/8 of an inch away from that first one, so about 1/4 of an inch away from the folded edges. I just like to follow my stitching. I have my middle part of my walking foot right up against that stitching, and then I know that they are kind of, even if this one ended up being a little crooked, at least I know that they are equally somewhat apart, same amount apart. Oh, need to go a little bit closer. Do it. Stitch and it's done. So that last stitch around will have caught that foam good. Okay, let's do this the right way around this time, Brandy. Brady is going to situate me with a stream deck. So apparently it'll do the thinking for me and press all the buttons for me. So hopefully. let me see. Oh, I wish I could get a narrow foot for my machine. I haven't found one yet. Mine isn't too bad though. You guys aren't slow. That's why you have a week to get it done. And Barbara, just like everybody else knows, when we are working, if you need to message me on Facebook, you can. I've actually created, I was missing a lot of messages from people messaging me through my personal account because I have a private personal account, so it would go to message requests and I wouldn't see them. At the same time, I like that to be private. I have my friends in there. Not that you guys aren't my friends, you're all my friends, but I created a business profile as well, and then I won't miss any messages. So you can always message me there if you need help, and we can FaceTime or whatever and work through things. If you ever need help, you just gotta ask. Diane just keeps her zipper foot on all the time. Kim, I only use my zipper foot when I need to get close to things or doing a zipper. Otherwise, I have my standard foot all the time. Oh, is it hard to go back to your domestic machine after your industrial, Elba, for So Magical? I guess you can't carry your industrial with you. That's funny. Awesome. So this is what we got. See, my stitches aren't perfect, but it looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. Yeah, so feel free to message me through there, and then you know I'm getting the messages. All right. Whew. So I think we'll have time to do a one pocket, so hopefully. We're done with this for sure. OMG, yes. I tell you, my Juki and my Elna are really, really neglected. They are. So you can put that aside for now. We don't need that for now. I'm going to pull out what we're going to be working on next. Just this piece. Not that one. And that's the back one. There we go. Frankie's done. I'm just going to clean up some of these zipper pockets because you know me with my messy. I never trim out my interfacing. I always let my interfacing after I have fused it rest overnight. In my head, it makes it so it sticks better. I don't know if it really does. So I don't have my iron over here like I did last class because I didn't want to blow a fuse again. So I will be running back and forth to the ironing board. I was a little panicked last week. Okay. Dawn is done. Perfect. All right. Oops, I need one moment. Not that facing. All right. Do I block? I don't, because I think I would waste too much interfacing if I did that. I interface all my pieces separately. I frankenface a lot too. Okay, so for those who took the last Thursday class, we're doing the zipper pockets in the exact same way, except for there's a handy little trick here using the pattern piece for placement. All right. So on the back of your zipper facing, on the wrong side, we're going to take our zipper facing pattern piece. I'm going to find my pen. Where did you go? I guess I'll use this one. No, this one will disappear though. That's fine. Okay, so I'm just going to draw this line here and this line here, and then I'm going to use my ruler to draw those lines nice and straight. That one's not long enough. Like so. And like so. I believe with this one, me double check. That she did a, say she did a 1/2 inch. Oh, she didn't say it, but she did. Okay. Oh, Frankenface. It's where you take all your scraps of interfacing and you fuse them to the back of something. I usually do it on my pocket pieces. Okay, so once you have your rectangle in, we're going to do 3/8 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch from each of those short sides. We're going to draw a line down the middle, halfway through, so about a 1/4 inch up from the bottom line. These don't have to be perfect. Draw your V's out to the corners, and that's just prepping for when we are going to do next. Barbara, welcome to the club. We're all thrifty. Okay, so once we have that, okay, I'm going to quickly give this a press just because it's folding over my vinyl. Of course, I have to wait for this to warm up again. So wait till you guys are done. Let me know when you're done. While I'm waiting, I am going to prep my zipper while I wait for my iron. Which way is it? This way. Because I use zipper by the yard. This is where we will be using one of the shorter zippers. So I'm just putting my pull on now while I wait for my iron to warm up. Oh, that did not go on straight. My handy dandy fork is failing me. There we go. Oh, I forgot to mention on your strap, this is optional. I'm actually going to put a rivet right here so it catches that webbing for extra security, like this one here. So you can decide if you want to do that or not. I don't use a press cloth. I just go in short bursts on the back of the vinyl. Usually it's okay. Okay, let me do that quickly. So today I'm playing with Lauren vinyl and Anna vinyl. Two of my sewing friends' vinyls. But I rarely use a pressing cloth. Sometimes I'll just steam it, but I just go on the back. Okay. Is that an old dun or a new dun? Dun. It's hard to say. Next, what we want to do is we want to take our pattern piece and we want to clip it back on. This is like such a handy little thing. I like this trick a lot. So make sure it's nice and even on. We're going to be just pinning it on, just like we had just cut it. This makes for such great placement. I do have a Teflon sheet for my heat press, but honestly, since I got the industrial grade steam iron, I never use my heat press anymore. My heat press has gotten old and it doesn't heat evenly, so I don't like it anymore. I'm going to save its life for when I'm playing with my Cricut maker that I never play with, making t-shirts and such that I never make. Okay, so let me know when you're there. The smaller zipper facing, Frankie. It is zipper facing K. Zipper facing K. I think. Or did I use the one? I might have used the wrong one. Ah! Please hold. Just a moment. No, I didn't. I used the right one. Why does it seem so much bigger? What have I done wrong? One lining. Worked for the last one. What did I do? Do we have 3 zipper facings? We do, don't we? That's the back one. Back facing. Just a moment. Oh, I used the wrong one. You want the shortest one for this one. Sorry, guys. We have this one done for our next zipper pocket, so we can put that aside. Do the exact same thing with a zipper front pocket piece, zipper M. Thank you, Frankie. You want to use M. You saved me. Okay, it's the exact same thing. I would have figured it out when I laid it out. Now I got another one prepped. So we'll do that again. Sorry guys if you pulled out the wrong one like I did, but hey, it needed to be done anyways, so we're ahead of the game. Three different facings, yep. It was M. Okay, so I'll throw that one back in there. All right, so everybody let me know when you're there. Where did I put that other zipper pocket? Dawn is there. Oh, I remember now. Like, where is that third one? So you have your paper piece all clipped on as well, Dawn? Okay, so now we have this on there. We have our facing, and you're going to kind of use your sense of feel. This is where I would have found out I used the wrong one. And you're going to kind of line up, feeling where it kind of goes down, where these corners are with the opening in our pattern piece where we've cut this away. So kind of line it up. All about feel here. Kind of fold it up and see if we're on track. That looks good. That looks good. And then the moment of truth. Move this up a little bit. When you got it where you want it to go, I'm putting pins in vinyl, you guys. I'm going to, just along that center line, stick a pin in there to hold that in place. So this is our fabrics right sides together, okay? This is just such an easy way to fit an angled zipper pocket. I was wondering how we were going to do this before I did the pattern. And it doesn't matter that I'm putting holes in the vinyl because we're going to be cutting this section away anyways. Okay, and now what we're going to do, we can go ahead and take the paper piece off. I tell you, with the acquaint stitch, I'm learning stuff. I really do like her patterns. So this should just pull it out and under the hole, like so. And then around that box, we're going to go ahead and we are going to stitch around the box. Okay, let me flip these the right way, Brandy. Okay, split table. There we go. Okay. Oops. Oh, my camera's going to shake because I bumped it with my chair. Stay. May shake for a second there, guys. Sorry. Okay. There we go. So just like I said in itty bitty class, always at these corners, I always do a back stitch at the corners on each side. Because I notice sometimes it doesn't always go around that corner nicely. I don't know why. Not my most favorite way of doing zipper pockets. I'm a zipper overlay person, but really you have to do it this way for this one too. How we managed to get 2 bags with pockets that needed to be done this way, I don't know. And I very rarely use pins. Other side. Alrighty. Hopefully Brady's thing he's going to set me up with is going to make it so that's more seamless. That would be nice. Okay, so let me know when you're there. Oh, that's water. I thought it was my sparkling ice and I took water. It's kind of shocked when there's no flavor. Give it another minute. Really want to get through this pocket so we know what we're doing for the other ones for homework. The chat has gone so quiet. Okay, so now what we're going to do, just like any zipper pocket, I'm going to take my rotary cutter and in between those 3/8 lines, I'm not going to go all the way to the end of them. I'm just going to get my line in that middle started, like so. And then go in with my scissors and cut the rest of the way to that line. And then cut into those V's as close as we possibly can get to the stitching without cutting the stitching. I am so not good at doing pockets like this, you guys, I swear. That's why I chose a facing that is almost the same color as my exterior, because then you don't see it as much. Don't cut your stitching, Brandy. Right there. Same with on the other side. Okay, so then we have this. I love, Rhonda, this is the last of it. Rhonda gave this to me for my birthday, a couple rolls of this for my birthday last year, which was so sweet. Oh, Kim, that's okay. Take a rest. But this is the last of it. I had just enough to do this accent panel here. So this is what that is. We're going to go ahead and we are going to put this through, wrong sides together through that hole. Now, you can take this to the iron as well and give it a good press. I'm actually, because I can and my machine doesn't mind, I'm going to use some double-sided tape to hold this in place just because I can't iron my front side. So that's what you're going to see me do. Barbara, yes, I do use vinyl. I will use a cotton print as an accent, but yeah, I primarily use vinyl, but I do have an industrial machine. But every pattern that I do tutorials for, you can definitely most of the time use cottons too, and many people in this class use cottons as well. You just use whatever it is that your machine can handle. I have a 1541, so it will sew through everything. But no, I have a whole bunch of cottons that I use for my exteriors. Our Thursday bag, I'm using cotton and vinyl. I will normally use cotton and vinyl together. Okay, so I'm just pressing the seam down with my double-sided tape, like so, to press it in place. I will take this, once I have that, to the iron on this wrong side and do it. If you're all cotton, you can definitely just go ahead and press away. But yeah, I do love working with vinyls and this. The Trailblazer is great for accenting cottons. Are you going to be doing your Trailblazer in cottons and vinyls, or all cottons? What are you doing? So yeah, I'm using this double-sided tape just to make my vinyl behave. And Rhonda, I need to get, she has a green print like this. I need to get a couple rolls of that because my goddaughter's getting married, and her husband, or future husband, are really into Dungeons and Dragons, and I really want to make them some tumbleweed traveler's totes for their honeymoon. Okay, so I'm going to take this over, but hopefully I'll get it when we go to Sew Expo, and then I'll have to like sew really fast to get them done by second week of October. But I'm going to go give this a quick press like this, making sure I don't hit my vinyl, so this is sitting nice and flat. So I'll be right away. Cotton print and Mora will be beautiful. Mora is beautiful to sew on a domestic machine, Barbara. It'll be lovely. Lovely, lovely. Come on, machine, turn on again. There we go. All right. So once again, you can see by choosing that gray, it kind of peeks through, like for my facing. You can see it still, but you can barely see it because it kind of looks like a faux piping. And I always do that because I really, really am not good at doing zippers like this. So, okay, I'm going to power through the rest of the zipper because I really want to get this done, because homework is going to be to do the other zippers of the bag, and they're all done the same way. Okay, so I've already cut my zipper tape. You got your zipper pocket pieces. I always lay them down like this to figure out which way they go. They usually will lay an inch or so outside of the boxes. It comes in lime green, Rhonda. It's beautiful. Okay, so I am going to use double-sided tape. Again, if your machine is sensitive to the double-sided tape, definitely use clips. But you know me, I breathe double-sided tape. On my Juki 2010Q, the only double-sided tape I could really use without it totally messing up my needle was Dritz Wash Away Wonder Tape. That worked okay. You can get that in Emmaline bags. Okay, so I'm putting this along each side of that long side. This is exactly like how we do zippers when we do the vinyl overlay. We're doing the exact same thing. It is a design element, Barbara, you're right. Okay, so I'm going to take the paper off. Doesn't matter which way my zipper pull is going at this point. You're just going to put your zipper right along there, and then we're going to sew across there with a 1/4 inch seam allowance and attach the other side as well. So let's flip this over and we will do that. I know we all know how to do this already. If anybody doesn't know how to do it, please do stop me. We will be doing so many pockets on the Trailblazer. Okay. So for these pockets, I don't worry about my zipper foot because if it's fine past it, it doesn't really matter too much. But you're not going to see this part. Okay, once you're done one side, I'm going to take my other one. I'm going to take the tape off. Not the tape, the paper off the tape. And with the free side of my zipper tape here, the opposite side, I'm going to stick it down. So now our zipper lining pockets are right sides together, like so. See, do. And we are going to stitch down that opposite side. And that's done. Diane, that would be absolutely amazing. I can e-transfer you, and then that just saves that. I'll pay the shipping to you in Florida because I know that that is much, much cheaper. But when I put those two in my cart, it was like $60 American to ship them, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I just can't. But if you could grab me 2 rolls, I would be ever so grateful. And I'll pay the shipping on the Canada side of it. That would be amazing. Make me so happy. Okay, I'm squirreling now. So this is what we got. So this is our zipper right side up. That is our lining. I'm going to quickly just go ahead. No, I almost 100% of the time use quilting cottons as my lining. So this is cotton backed with a medium woven interfacing, Barbara. I never ever use vinyls on my inside except for overlays. I'm going to quickly go give this a press and then we're going to finish this off. So let me... But I'm definitely a cotton print girl for my linings. I love cottons for my linings. I know a lot of people like waterproof canvas, but I love cottons. So, all right. Whew. We're almost there. Just 2 should be good. I should be able to get, yes, I should be able to get 2 bags done with a roll each. So that would be amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are the sweetheart. Yeah, you are a sweetheart. Thank you. I like that you fly south for the winter and then come back up to Canada. Okay, so I'm going to keep going because we're almost out of time. Now, when you look at this pocket, we have the zipper closing to the left. So that's what I want to make sure we're doing. So I'm going to kind of position this this way because you can see how we're going to be on an angle like this. So you want to make sure your zipper's going to the left. I'm going to flip this over. No, I think that should be good, Diane. Just those 2. Thank you. It's just the perfect thing for her. For her and her husband. And then anything else I need, I will hopefully buy from Lauren directly when I go to Sew Expo. But those are the ones that are kind of time sensitive, so. Okay, so I'm using double-sided tape here. If you're on a domestic machine, double-sided tape makes this so much easier. I just make sure, because we will be top stitching around this with an 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, just make sure your tape is away from where you're top stitching so your needle doesn't get gummed up. Okay, so my pull is closing to the left. I'm going to take the tape off the top. This is exactly how we do our overlay ones, guys. Exactly, except for there's no overlay. So just off the top one, and I'm going to center it. And it's weird because it's on an angle, but you want to make sure you have equal amount on either side. So I kind of feel, and when I feel like I have an inch on either side, I stick it down to the tape where I want it to go. Because you want to have only about 1/8 of an inch or so of tape showing. Play with it a little bit. I love doing it this way just because you have so much control of where it's going to lie. When you like where that is lying, go ahead and take the tape off of the bottom. Okay, Diane, I will check. I'll message you after. Thank you. I can e-transfer you. And stick that down. Make sure your zipper still moves freely, which mine does. You can see that cotton overlay is still showing, but it looks good. It kind of looks like a faux piping. And now we're going to stitch this in place all the way around. Okay, you're going to make sure that your lining pieces are fanned out because you don't want to accidentally sew it shut. We'll take it to the machine and do that. If you guys don't mind just staying an extra 5 minutes just so we can get through this, that would be great. Okay. Alrighty. So again, I'm going to pull my threads along because I don't want to have that back stitch. You can back stitch if you like. I'm going to start sewing. And I'm going to tie my threads off in the back. So the 1/8 of an inch away around here. Spin. Readjust if you need to. That looks good. Down the other side. Needle down, and I'm going to move my zipper out of the way. While I'm here, I'm going to pull my bobbin thread for my starting. Pull that top thread through for tying off. My overlay's popping through more than I want, but it still looks good. It'll be fine. Spin around. I want to go a little further. Okay, now Susan, I know that you only bound the one side. When you did your lining zipper pocket, you left the bottom open, right? Is that right for my way of thinking for how we're going to be binding this? So I know you did it the way I'm thinking I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to make sure my needle goes down in the same spot that I started with. Pull my threads long. You like my cassette tape magnet? I got that off of Etsy with a bunch of, it came with the dog hairs glitter one. Got them a while ago. Okay, so I'm just pulling that top thread through, making sure I'm seamless. I am. I'm going to tie those off. Okay, and then while we're here, we are going to finish up this pocket. I just got to melt these threads a little bit. I'm sorry, I hit my camera again if it's shaking. Okay. All right, so now we want to bring that pocket right sides together. It's going to be a little bit longer on one side. We're just going to trim that up a little bit so they match. And then we're going to sew this shut. So we are going to fold the exterior out of the way, and we are going to stitch as close as we possibly can to where the vinyl pulls away from the lining pocket. So it's like almost a good inch in. If you can catch these little V things that are hanging out, catch them. Backstitch. I always backstitch over the zipper tape again and follow it all the way down. Trying to see how far down this will go because I'll have to trim it. So I'm almost leaving like a full inch at the bottom as well, because we're going to want this pocket to be out of the way for when we're sewing. So yeah, I would go with like a 1/2 inch seam allowance or so. I'm not sure what the pattern says to do. I'm at this point going road. All the way to the other side. We can seal this one up. And then up the other side, again finishing nice and close to where you can't pull that top layer away from your zipper again. See how close I'm getting to my vinyl without sewing through my vinyl? Backstitch. Whoops, and of course now I'm hung up on it. And backstitch, and that is done. Take this back to the table. Yeah, I stick my I got magnets for them because I'm always changing them out. So Barbara, because I use a nylon bonded thread, Tech 70, so that just makes it so they're not going to fray and unravel. I don't do it with cotton threads or anything, just with those ones. Okay, so this is what that looks like. Make sure your zipper opens and closes. Coco says hi because Dave's home. Make sure you didn't accidentally sew it shut, which we didn't. And now, see, it kind of looks oblong. We're going to go ahead and we are going to trim this up to 1/4 inch seam allowance. Same with up this side. This is where I was trying to make sure, like I'm probably going to, because we're going to have that seam allowance there. I don't remember what the seam allowance is at this point. Trim it all the way up to the top, trim off the excess zipper, keeping everything out of the seam allowances here for when we sew the rest on later. Because we don't want to be sewing through that thickness. This one, I might catch it a little bit, but that's okay. So yes, that is that front panel done. How cute is that? Looks so good. So for homework, if you're going to put a rivet, let me kind of go back to my face. If you're going to put a rivet on your strap, do that. This is where I like to put my nameplate on the front here. Now, if you are doing that vinyl overlay here, I'm not doing that vinyl overlay. You will want to put your vinyl overlay on first, but make sure you are moving your pocket out of the way. And then put your nameplate on or your handmade thing on. This is what it looks like without the overlay. I was going to do the overlay on this one, but put my nameplate on right where the overlay goes, so it didn't work. So put your overlay on if you're going to be doing the overlay. I'm not doing the overlay because I don't want to cover up this beautiful vinyl. I'm going to put my nameplate on about here. Your other zipper pockets. There's 3 more. One on the back. Do the one on the back. And one on the inside if you are doing the single pocket like me. Now the one on the inside, leave the bottom open for turning because I believe we turn that one. I wish Susan, I don't think Susan's in here anymore because she did it the binding thing. We are going rogue with this. So, because we're going to bind the back part, but we're going to turn that front section, I believe. If we don't, we can always sew it up, but the lining zipper pocket, leave it open. So the lining zipper pocket you're going to have on the front of the bag, not on the back of the bag, because the back panel we are going to have our gadget holder. So we're putting it on the opposite side than we usually do. If you are doing card slots, which I am not doing, you can definitely do those as well. We'll look in this one, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this zipper pocket here, leave the bottom open. if you are doing there's Dave. If you're doing the card slots, go ahead and do the card slots. I'm not doing them in this one because it's only 2 card slots and a slip pocket, and it just, I don't know. I don't think it was needed, but if you want to do that, just follow the pattern and the tutorial on how to do that and put those in there. This slip pocket here, or the zipper pocket, leave the bottom open for turning because we will be definitely be doing 1 turn, because the only part we are going to bind is this very back panel. So we will be turning 1 side, and it's an easy turn, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. So, and do this, this zipper pocket here the exact same way we did this one. So that's homework, is to do your zipper pockets, put on your nameplate, put on your rivet on your handle if you want, and that's it. Is that good enough? We actually got through quite a bit today, so the rest of it will go pretty fast. The hardest part we're going to be doing is the rounded zipper, which we will be doing next week. So you can have your zipper tape prepped if you want it to be prepped. All right. And then, of course, we will also have, we're not going to do this part just yet. We will do this one later. We're following the pattern pretty much to a T for the order we're doing things. So, yeah, I know some of you are still waiting for these locks to come, so we'll do them next week. Any other questions before we go? I know we've run over by like 11 minutes. I apologize. Comments, questions, concerns? This is going to be so cute. I have a client in mind for this one. She's been wanting it. Maybe I'll want to get some more of this vinyl too, Diane. I will make a list for you. We're going to enjoy having you, Barbara. A lot of us in this group, a lot of the group has been with me since we started these in March. Make sure you go through all the members' playlists. You can see all of the past classes. With being in the Tuesday, Thursday group, that gives you access to Tuesday and Thursday classes. So you can definitely join us on Thursday. We're doing the Itty Bitty Bowler this month. We're probably finishing it up this week. And then next month, we're doing the Pauling handbag, which is by Hills Handmade, and I'm super excited to do that one as well. So you can join us for both. Go back and check out all the plays, the replays of everything. For everybody, you will see that I have a tutorial up and a Meet the Bags up that's only for members. It is the Sally Tomato Bella wallet. Like, seriously, so cute. I did mine in Cork. It's a zip around wallet. So I'm not releasing this to the public side until Saturday because I'm trying to make my releases on Saturdays when my viewership is the highest, which means when I'm done tutorials and I'm going to get far ahead on them, the members are going to have access to them as soon as I'm finished. So this tutorial is already up for members to see if you want to see it. And yeah, check it out. You'll like it. And then it goes public on Saturday. So, okay, Dave's home. Time to make some supper. I will see you guys all on Thursday. If you have any questions about the homework or what we did today, feel free to message me on that new account. Yeah. So, yeah, if you haven't followed that new account, go ahead and find it. I'm trying to talk in the Beans Bags group as that person. So that's there. We also have the chat sessions for each class, where you can have help from your peers. That's what those chats are for, is you can post questions there or whatever, and your peers can help. I learn so much from all of you every day, so I really, really, really appreciate you all. Anyways, have a great night. I will see you guys on